Hello Command & Conquer fans, here's another breakdown tutorial for Command & Conquer Kane's Wrath World Builder and Tiberian Wars should also work. As you can see, I have already here made, we have a bloody red rushing river and a nice little side ocean lake. This is what we're going to be covering in today's breakdown, just two simple techniques. Okay, so I'm going to start off by wiping the map. So first off, please make sure initial height feet is 50. When we are on new map, make sure it's 50. That gives you room to dig into the ground. Right, so let's start by taking our height brush tool by pressing H or clicking at the top here. Our height brush tool is basically, it sets the level of the terrain instead of having to dig it up or raise it or dig it down, sorry. As you can see, we can take a nice big chunk out. We have your cell size, brush feather ratio, which is like just feathering is like just slightly out of what it would normally be. And we have a size in cell for the brush width. And as you can see, I'm using 29, which is pretty big. And we have our height feet, which I'm setting it to 0. As you can see, the top's 50, and that's now 0. Let's start off with the small river. As you can see, we've got a nice bit of space to work with. Let me just dunk that down. There we go. First off, we're going to start off by using the smooth and heighten tool. As you can see, you probably want your feather rate to 10. That gives you the best smoothing. Reduce the feather rate so smooths the edges less, and the radius can be quite big. As you can see, it's instant smoothing. It's going to give us a nice base edge to work with. Actually, that's done. Simple. We've got our layout already. Pretty simple. We've got our dug in. Now we're going to access the Lake Ocean tool at the top. There is no shortcut for that, if I remember. And then we're going to get access to our Lake Ocean tool. It's like putting waypoints down, but you just click them and they connect. Pretty simple. As you can see, a couple of clicks and then join the last one up, and you've got your ocean, and we can call this Ocean Test. And as you can see, if we pull this down, get it nice and tight but not too tight, or you're going to have the water suddenly stopping at the edges. Also try and get it as tight as possible because you're going to be reducing GPU usage for players in your maps. Only running 2 minutes in, this is looking pretty good. As you can see, we've got ourselves a nice open map there. Now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to raise the water with the water height feet tool. Well, not tool, but you know, a button. If we raise this up, as you can see, the water is raising, say 30. Gives us a nice edge to work with. So let's go to 35. We have ourselves a nice river. Now if we click on this again, we can change the UV scroll speed, which is, as you can see, it's moving. We can change it to move speed. As you can see, the water's moving more rapidly. We can drop it, so it's very slow. You can use the addictive blending, which is, we have different stuff. We have a lava bump. Don't know if you can see that, but the river's like more like moving like lava. And we can go marshing, and then there's the ripples in the water, as you can see. I know a lot of people can't notice this, but the animation is actually changing. Also, we have the alpha, which is how see-through the water is. However, at the top where it's not see-through at all, but I'd normally leave it at about 190-ish. That way we can blend it in with, so people can see the water underneath and it's more realistic. So let's go to our large tool. Let's say we have an outline of grass. Let's say you do the river and it's by a grass this colour. I'm not going to bother to properly blend this, this is just an example. Now if we access a test grass underneath, which is a slightly darker or lighter colour, I'd normally recommend lighter, but I just went for the first thing I clicked. Now as darker, we have a different texture. This makes the water look more realistic and the terrain more realistic because it's a different colour underwater, which it would be. If we just scroll through all of that, we have a pretty nice looking so far. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our blending module here and click that. It'll blend. As you can see, the edges have all blended together. Next, we're going to take our mound tool, which raises terrain, and we're going to just probably set it to about 1 or 2 and just raise this terrain slightly so it doesn't look too flat. So that will make the underneath of your river look more realistic. You can even whack it for about 4 at some points. Just go over so it's all bumpy. If you can't really see much of a difference, as I said, just lower your alpha. There we go, you can really see the changes in the water underneath. As you can see, I'm rushing this, so it's not too good, and I've missed a couple of spots, but I'm sure you can cover them. Next, let's ram all the way over here. We have 5 minutes left for our river tool. Actually, let me just do this again because that was kind of rushed. 0, drop the height tool down a little bit. Boom. As again, I'm going to use our smoothing tool. Going to brush this down nicely. Then we're going to use the tool next to the ocean lake tool, the river tool, and this is slightly different putting it down. What we do is we click point 1, then we drag, and we click and drag to the point 2. Then when you release, and click again. Sorry. You can only see 3 points, but there's always a 4th point created on the end of it. And shit, I have it back to front. But you'll probably end up doing this quite a few times because putting it down at first is really annoying because you don't know which way it's going to go. It's quite a buggy tool as well, but once you get that hang of it, you can really kick some ass. As you can see, this tool really doesn't like me. So if we drag that over, remember, the more you stretch it, the more of an intense river effect you're going to get. Also, don't be worried to experiment with this tool. Now we have our typical river in. Now what we can do to change the water is, by zooming here, click the color RGB, and we have colors. But we cannot define custom colors for some reason. What we can do is we can scroll like any color you want. So red, pink, whatever. Pink river. Well, it's come up purple for some reason. Reflection plane, name, the height feet, as you know. UV score rate if you want to go fucking super fast. But please remember, the faster UV score rate, the more heavy this is going to be on people in game. Standard simple reflection does not work. The high and low LD don't mess with. Minimum water LD don't mess with. And you can have your reflection on as well, like before, so it reflects stuff in the water. I think that's about all we're going to cover for today, so that's just a breakdown of using the water tool. Any questions, any requests, you just PM me on YouTube and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks, bye.